No more sex bullying, bare bones broadcasting. I want to remind males of something. Emphatically, get this straight through your thick skull. A female human being looks to you for love. That means you seek not your own. Now, you're looking to her for the same thing. You got two of them doing it and nobody's contributing anything. You can't outdo her at looking for love. You need to give it. And if you can't, you got problems. Because she's going to look to you. Now, if you insult her for failing your desire for her to love you enough times, she'll never look to you for love again. And that's the only way she's going to look to you. She calls that love. When she dispositions her mind to receive your love. She knows how to do that. In reality, you get confused about receiving love. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is to love and be loved. You don't know how to be loved very well at all. What you ought to practice is loving. Because when it comes to being loved, it goes over your head again and again. Because you're so focused, you're like a guy bending over $1 to pick up a dime when it comes to that. As a creature, you're wired that way, idiot. You're not wired to receive it, you're wired to give it. And love is just a picture in your mind where the other person always has an understanding in your mind of why and when and what. And you're not offended by any of it. You're way ahead of her. And know her misunderstanding and try to stay ahead of it and keep it prepared. By understanding. Explaining the meaning, providing the need, so on and so forth. Do you understand me? So when you're mocked, it's because you've already eroded that position. She'll never look to you for love again. Once they turn that thing off, it seldom comes back. In my case, I know this, my daughter, as this husband keeps coming around looking for love. When he don't get it, he pouts. It was his job to love her, and I asked him when he married her, do you love my daughter? The day he married her, I guess. I was dumb to marry him, wasn't I? I should have walked right out of that office. I should have told the judge what was going on, and I needed that boy fixed for knocking her up. That she was going to have his baby, and I was marrying him instead of getting him in trouble and having her aborted. I didn't take that position. I married him instead. A lot of people would have got that boy in trouble. She was underage. I would have had the baby aborted whether she liked it or not. And nothing would be going on right now with my daughter like that today. She'd be a very happy person. She would have never been insulted all her life. And now she's a basket case. That's my daughter's situation, and the psychologist doesn't have the brains to find that out about her. He doesn't understand how to get into her life and understand how priceless she is, and he's jaded to be God or too, and he's in just as much trouble, sooner or later. And his name ain't Doctor. He's got the first name, the goofiest thing you ever saw, and he has no business as a psychologist. No wonder he's a psychologist. You can call that in your life, it'll screw you up. You know, world names their children, what they do is beyond me. It's a very unnormal, easy to make fun of name. Don't name your kids names other kids can make fun of. Don't do it. Wow, wow, wow. Bah! That child is not your traditional P mark on life. People have children like picking up their leg and marking a tree. Children aren't your set in life. I'm casting my image to this place. You get your image out of here. That's not that human being ain't your scent. No, it ain't. That human's got its own scent. You keep your scent to yourself, pal. Don't leave it. The only scent everyone comes here is generosity. That scent. Leave the scent of generosity on every tree. Otherwise, don't leave any scent. Do you understand me? Move! And I laugh. You know the greatest remark in the scripture is that Joseph went in the back room and wept. Because he was used to laughing all the time, and Egypt loved him. And where he is, Joseph's citizen. A marvelous man. Joseph. Son of Abraham. No. Was he son of Abraham yet? No. He was the son of Jacob. You know, the family gets so mixed up in my mind because I remember it all the time, and I'm always, pretty soon the whole story is all convoluted in my head, and I forget names and dates and people. Only I know the pattern of events. Joseph was a marvelous man. A coat of many colors was the characteristic of the human being, not something his dad gave him, which is genetics. Coat of many colors was genetics. I don't care how you do it. Well, the story says that. Very poetic. That was the bloodline inclusion. That was the wit. That was something coming out of flesh. Not something his dad went and whipped. Well, you read it that way and see if you get more out of it. You just take the whole thing and put it into poetry and see how literal it is. You understand the poetry of the scripture and see how literal it is. It's very verbatim. What a bet of living, not tangible things at all. It's about method of long suffering and how to do it so you come out on the inclusive end of things instead of the exclusive end. Suffering produces exclusive. Well, you can take suffering and turn it into inclusive too. And that's what that's about. The poetry of that. Like a dance, the kata. Ever see him do Tai Chi? That's what it is. In your mind. How you absorb everything and flow. Like a champion in a ring. You take all punches and give few. And hug your opponent afterwards. Champion. Takes a lot of punches, gives few, and hugs his opponent at the end. Sportsmanship. That's living. Do it. Yay, heavyweight. Yay, George Foreman. Thank you very much. Don't you always say it? Give me a damn respect. Don't you always say it? Huh? Oftentimes during life, I would say, yay, George Foreman. Sure taught me a few things. Now there's a minister there and put his body where his mouth is. That's a minister, George Foreman.